Hello all. We're going to do a little bit of modding on the Lone Oak Farms map for Farm Sim 17. If anybody has seen some of the other videos I've done, I know I've kind of bellyached about this a little bit. I'm right on the spot of the map that I want to fix. I did this mainly for someone that was playing on our server who wanted to have kind of a flat, placeable area. You know, anytime you base a map off of a real life topography, there aren't very many areas that will be flat. So, you look at this, it looks relatively flat from where the original contour elevation was, but it isn't flat. And if you attempted to put a building in there, you would notice it right away. Part of it would stick up in the air on one end and wouldn't look nice. So in order to put something down, this particular gentleman asked me to flatten the area off, and I regret that I did this. So now I kind of want to fix this. And in the files for a map like this, this is Lone Oak. I think it would be, it's either map 01 or 02. Not 01, maybe it's 02. Aha. There's gonna be a file in here that's called a dem. So let me just open this real quick in paint.net, and oh boy, I gotta see kind of, aha, there it is. I think it's this particular area right here where I circumvented the actual real life dem and kind of just put in my own. In theory, I could take the whole thing or rather, I could get the correct version of the map and copy and paste the whole dem or just grab the original dem file. But I don't want to do that. What I'd like to do is fix this particular area right here because there are other placeable flat areas that I've built into it, just for my own playing use, if you will. So, for example, one of them is probably up here, perhaps, where I put something in where the player could put down a a sawmill up in the woods. Here's another area I know I've pointed out in my videos, a little flat area, and there's several others. I don't know if I can point all of them out, but they're in here. So if I literally copied just over the top of what I have, I would totally undo every other place, where I've tried to put in a reasonably flat area. So I only want to replace this particular area here. So even as I say that now, I am wondering if I happen to have an original map for Lone Oak. And now that I think about it, I don't know if I do. So, unless this is it here, I'll give this a try. Or maybe this one here. Something where... Oh, nope, let me just extract it here. Nope, I gotta do this more carefully. See, I'm not a very good YouTuber. I can't talk. What did this do? No, no, no. And Windows 11 doesn't show all these options like I wish it would. So I'm gonna just extract this, and hopefully this version of the map doesn't have the change I made in this particular area. I know there were several iterations of the map that we had when it was on the server, so I'm gonna just, here it is, I'll pop it open and see if this has the before effect, if you will. And I think what I'd like to do is, the contour elevation is based on that dem map and digital elevation model. I think that's what dem stands for. And it's based on the colors that appear in there that tells it how it's going to do the elevation. Aha, here we go. So this is how it should look And you notice, I think on it now, I even removed this guy wire for the power pole. So I'm going to try to get it to look kind of like this again, so that when I do my Let's Play series on Lone Oak, it doesn't look like this. I mean, it just looked abysmal. It's still considered a field, so just driving through there, I noticed they'd already planted a crop over this, which, we don't want them to do if it's going to be just a bare lot. So let me go now. On this map, I got to go find the, I think this is the one I just opened. This was an original version. So let me go to my app 02. I'm going to open the DEM. I'll open it in paint.net. And of course, it doesn't have it. But this is going to be a little ticklish thing that we're going to do here. I basically have to record. Now let's see, I want to pull a square out. And I don't know that I did any alterations to the landscaping here, really, except for right here. So I probably can pull a larger area, but I have to pull it exactly and copy and paste it exactly on the particular pixel. So, I'm looking here. I think this is a representation of where I'm at. If I go up here, that's pixel 48, 174. So I come down here. What would make it simple and easy? Like if I did it here, this is 231, 361. I'm going to write down those coordinates so I don't screw this up. 231, comma 361. I'll make that the upper left bound, and then it'll be the lower right bound, which will be down, say, right about here. So 272, 417. All right, so this is what I want to replace. So I'm going to go over here now and find my coordinates. I think I'm about right here. So I want to get from, remember it was 231, 361. Whoop. Gotta go up a little bit, 361, right there. So I'm gonna hold my mouse down and hopefully it'll tell me when I get to 272, 417. All right, that's the square. So let me copy it, and then I'm going to come over to here, and I'm going to paste. Hey now, that just about, let me take it off. I don't know that I can hardly beat that. Because I look at that, is that pretty well right over the top? I'm up here, that's 231, 361. If I'm down here, that is 272, 417. And if I go look over here, I don't think I can fault that placement. Doesn't that look pretty well spot on? So what we did is we just replaced our DEM with this. So I'm gonna hit escape. This is in a PNG file, so I'm gonna save that and hit OK. Now I'm gonna come. This is the previous version, so I'm gonna just bail out. I don't want to save that or it'll undo what I just did. And this is the one that I opened up, so I'm going to get back out of here, go to my active map, and we'll just load it up again. And with fingers crossed, we'll see what kind of a job it did. That might have been a little bit easier than I thought it would be. Only it wasn't. Um, well, okay. I don't know what happened here. So, obviously, something messed up big time. I can't even hardly tell where I'm at. So, oh, there we are. We're way up here. I guess the part I wanted to be on was way down here. So, it does appear it did something in here, but I'm just not 100% sure. So I have a feeling what I did is I saved it incorrectly. So let me go back to here. Now this is my file. Save as. I know I want it to be a PNG. If we replace it, I'm not sure what all this means. Like if I try to save this, it's 7 and 128 8-bit depth. You know, I may have to hopefully I didn't just screw things up for good. I'm pretty sure I have another copy I can put in there. That's something important on any kind of modding you do is to make sure you always have the ability to go back. See, this is what we just saved. And so what I need to do now is go retrieve the other map that I had. And you know, maybe in my folder, not used. Yeah, there's a version of the map here. Actually, that's Lone Oak Farms Summit 1. I believe that's the map I was using previously. So I'm just going to dip in here. I'm going to go grab the dem. And I'll see if I can copy it out of here and undo this mess I just created for myself. Which is par for the course. And I have a feeling what it is it's the way in which it was saved. So let me once again dive out of here. And I'll go back into the map here. Hopefully it'll be kind of back as it was. Yeah, so here's the one that we had, and of course, now we're back to square one here. So there's something about what I did that is incorrect. So I may make this a couple videos. I think it isn't. It should be as simple as what I did in cutting and pasting like I did on there. But I believe probably the way I saved it may have been incorrect. And I just don't know, you know, maybe if I look at this dem map, let me see if it'll tell me a little bit on its properties. This is some of the journey of modding. doesn't really give much details here. PNG, it's a 1025 pixels, bit depth 24. So, if I go back to somewhere I have this open, here maybe, I go save as, it's going to ask me to replace it, so bit depth should be 24. Now, this isn't one I replaced it with last time, so you know what? Let's see. Let's see what this does. This isn't one I superimposed it over, so I'm going to just save that, which undoes this. I'm going to bail out of there. And we will... Am I the right one? Yeah, I believe I'm the right one. So I'll hop back in here and we'll see if that did a little bit better. But honestly, I don't know. But it likely has something to do with it. Okay, so now the map saved my location, and now we'll see what it did here. Aha! Now it works, and the ground contour is exactly where it was previously. So I guess what we learned from here is we just need to make sure that when the DEM file is saved, the digital elevation model, it needs to be at with 24-bit depth. If you do it in 8-bit, whatever the default was in paint.net, it isn't going to work. So, well, let me see kind of how this was. In some ways I'm kind of surprised. It seemed to elevate my power pole. Well, let me just see here. Is it the entire pole? I got to grab all of it. Well, I don't know. You know what? I'm going to just leave that alone, I think. It works. I no longer have my guy wire. I must have... Let me just see here. Did I delete it? That's that. Is there a part? All these great parts. Yeah, for whatever reason, I don't have it on there anymore, but this is kind of how it looked. So I wonder if they jammed it into the dirt quite a bit even here. I could even duplicate the guy wire. That's probably there in real life. A lot of times there's this wire to help hold the poles upright. So maybe what I could do, can I click on that? There we go. I'm going to get that part, and let me just export selection with files. Oh, and I've been working over here. Let me put it in 17. Somewhere in here. I'm afraid I'm butchering BulletBill's map by putting it in here. So why don't I just sneak this? I'll call it fixed stuff. And I'll put this on here as a guy wire. I keep calling it a guy wire. That's what we call it around here. Maybe there's a more technical term for it. I don't know. Do you want to get the parent directory structure? Sure. Not sure I did that right, but oh well. So then I'll come over in here and I want to now import the guy wire. There it is. And of course, it's going to throw it way down here. I'm going to just, because it should be all set up. If I put it in this area, there we go. I think that's satisfactory. So that's kind of where it was originally. And now I want to look kind of at my template here. There's a little bit of um, scrubbed area around the air. I kind of need to put it on to dirt texture. So basically in here, I want to kind of color. I previously had covered it gravel texture, I believe, but I want to give it a different, I want to turn it back to dirt. So let me get my terrain editor. We'll get this all fixed back to what it should be. Is it info layer? No, it isn't info layer painting. I always forget when I come here. Aha, here it is. I think I want it dirt. So there we go. So I want to do a lot of this. I want to give it some hardness so it does it quickly. Basically want to just come in here and turn it back into a regular field. Then over the top of this, of course, we'll be putting the cultivated texture, and then hopefully the next time we take it in game, this will now finally look normal, and I will have fixed something that at the time I really didn't want to do. But these are the things you do when, when there's a few people that are willing to play with you on a server. Sometimes they make requests that you have to listen to if you want them to stick around. All right, so that's that. Let me now turn this to foliage painting, and I'll come down here, and I think one of these in here, terrain detail. Okay, and I always forget which one of these is that. Is that cultivated? No, that almost looks like it's seeded texture. What happens if I just leave it 0? Ah, there we go. I'm just gonna paint a little bit here. Kind of go around the edges. Get this all fixed back up. If I look at my template here, maybe it was closer to the edge. I'm not going to get too fastidious about it, but I don't know if BulletBill will ever watch this. My apologies. You had this perfect in here, and I came in and I just did a little bit of modding for the sake of the server, and because there's so many other things, like I say, and hopefully I retained those, when we copied this over. You know what? I think I want would a square brush be a little better? Maybe. I don't know. Might get a little straighter edge. Hopefully this didn't gum up any of the other flat areas that I put in, because there were several placeables wanted to put in just to have additional fun, and I did want to keep those. I put in, and this was, I played the stuffing out of this map, and it was kind of towards the end of, oh boy, it might have even been towards the end of Farm Sim 19. I never did really fully play Oxygen David's version of the map, which he ported up to Farm Sim 19. I think he just used what was here. I'm not sure if he injected much new into it, but I never really played the 19 version. So all through Farm Sim 19, I pretty well stayed with the 17 version of the map. So after a while, after you've played it for hours and hours and hours, there starts to be other things you want to add, and we did. So there was a lot of placeables that we put into it, and I think in our What's Play series, I'll start to get into some of those. And this was one of the changes, and in retrospect, I just wish I wouldn't have made. And I'm sure I'm slow at all this. I apologize for that. There's probably tricks, mapping tricks that I'm not aware of. I'm just trying to be careful on the edge here to get it to where it was. Make it somewhat straight in here. Maybe it wasn't even in straight. I just don't recall. Get her back to the way BulletBill had it kind of in the original. All right, so now we can kind of color this in. Get it paved back over with dirt. Maybe this will last a little bit. I'll switch to a round brush just to kind of come in with this last little bit around, around the power pole. I don't know if that's kind of how it was. Let me I guess that's close, ain't it? Maybe just a fuzz more I could take out over here and just call. Yeah. Pixel by pixel, we're getting her fixed. So I'm trying to see here. I think that's just dirt under there, and he put a tuft of grass. So we'll stay on foliage. I'm going to reduce it to 2 meters. Boy, I maybe should go down to 1. And now we'll grab some grass. I don't know as to the height of it. Yeah, maybe we'll give it some growth. No, that wrong one there. I maybe don't see all my buttons. Try to clean that up a little bit. And I think, that should grow in game, right? Maybe I need 3, 4, and 5. Is that how to get it taller? Oh. Oh no, that's some interesting plants. So it must be I need 3, 4, 5, 6. No. I don't think I want 6. Maybe this is the best I can do. So that's a little bit taller over there. Oh, you know what it is. I bet it's dry grass. I wonder if that's what's going on. So if I take this out, if I try to replace this with nope, that isn't going to work.
Yeah, you still have your sign.
I'm recording. I'm recording right this moment. Not right now. Pardon that interruption. Well, maybe it wasn't dry grass. I'm not sure what the deal is. So, is it just, no, it isn't just 4. Is it only 5? No. Is it only 6? Aha, here it is. Maybe it's only 6. I see those in there now. Like if I go back to grass, if I do only 6, aha, now we're getting a decent bush. There we go. That's maybe a little bit more than what BulletBill had, but I'm gonna call that good. I think we have it finished here, and isn't quite the same, but oh, and look at that. He had a couple weeds in there. Okay, well, if I really want to do this justice, I need to also put in the weed, which, hmm, probably not bush. Is it Eisenhut? Hmm, maybe there's some of that in there. Um, yep. Okay, so we now have put even the weeds back in there that BulletBill had in his. So, well, I think that's pretty well everything. I'm going to turn the recording off. This is hopefully how we have a fix something in the map that no longer is serving its purpose, and hopefully we returned it back to what it should be in the regular map. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye for now.